line.
No.
It's just the way it was read. Because the tone of the first X-Men was very, not dour, but it was very serious.
It was very sincere.
Very sincere. Now, if that line was read by Aubrey Plaza in, I don't know, Child's Play, remake, reboot, it'd be funny.
It'd be funny. Or if it was read by Kat Dennings.
Oh my God. Yeah, Kat Dennings. Oh
She'd
man.
deliver it perfectly.
In Thor, God of Thunder, she needs to fight an ancient toad and say that line and make it work.
Well, she could fight Frog Thor.
Oh yeah, he's a terror. They say that the only things that can beat Frog Thor are Galactus and Kurt Russell. Just Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Yeah, not Mogo, but Kurt Russell.
Yeah, not even like the planet. We're talking just Kurt Russell.
Sorry.
Ego.
Mogo is the DC planet. Ego is the Marvel planet.
Just Kurt Russell and Galactus.
Kurt Russell.
Oh, no, and yeah, Galactus. Oh man,
who would if they were gonna go, Mark? If people listen to our podcast and they gave Sam Raimi Fantastic Four to do, and he went for his second installation, full out Galactus, who would you cast as that Marvel, like the MCU Galactus?
In Raimi's world, so a new Galactus.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Galactus is ancient, correct?
Yeah.
Galactus has a massive kind of ego.
Yep.
Is there humor to Galactus?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yep.
Okay. This would never work. All right. But my first thought was Timothy Oliphant, but I always think that, so I don't know if I should go with that.
Timothy Oliphant.
I mean,
love him.
Timmy Ollie's the best.
Yeah.
We could put some Multi-Goggies in there, some Molten Goggins, but no, that doesn't work either.
The entire cast of Justified?
Yes, the entire, but so I gotta tell you, I was watching Booksmart the other day, and I was like, hey, Justified's in here. Like, every time I see somebody from Justified, I go, hey, there's Justified. I saw the guy in the Final Destination, the fourth one, I'm like, hey, there's Justified. Right. Anytime I see him, but okay.
So to
Christoph
pause you for a
Waltz.
second there.
Christoph Waltz.
So that would be great, because I was thinking Christopher Walken.
Whoa.
Either one would be a great moment.
Oh man.
But see, I would cast Timothy Oliphant as Mr. Fantastic.
Yep. Little older. Do you think he's like 50?
Yeah, but he's got that gray in his sides now.
Oh my goodness. That'd be great.
Great.
Aubrey Plaza as Invisible Woman. Let's see. The Thing could be Kat Dennings.
the Thing could be Kat Dennings.
Well, she'd be funny. She wouldn't be in it. She would just voice it.
Right.
Right.
But then she'd be like, why does the Thing sound a lot like the Thor's girlfriend's assistant?
It's true. No, Kat Dennings could be the fire guy.
Human Torch?
Yeah.
All right.
I guarantee Fantastic Four fans are exploding right now.
Yeah, no, we started off with some real top shelf casting, and then it went real downhill trying to shoehorn Kat Dennings into another Marvel character.
Do you think Kat Dennings would have been good as Meg in Dog Soldiers?
I think Kat Dennings would be good at anything.
Yeah.
So my wife and I, whenever we can't decide what movie to watch.
Oh, I know. Let me guess.
Yeah.
Nick and Nora.
Nick and Nora.
Good picture.
Every time.
Music, you love that.
Music, love it. It's adorable.
Now, this is going to be a stupid question. Don't be angry with me.
No, go for it.
Where's it set?
What's that?
Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
It's in New York.
Oh, New York. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was maybe in Toronto or something, but I didn't even remember. I haven't watched it in years.
That was Scott Pilgrim.
Hey, with the guy from Fantastic Four.
And the guy from Nick and Nora.
Yep. And the lady from the new Child's Play.
And Chris Evans.
And Anna Kendrick.
And Brendan Routh.
And the Culkin brother in Succession.
And whatever this era's Culkin brothers named.
And the Punisher.
And the Punisher. Was that the Culkin brother who was in that Van Damme movie where he was like...
Yep. And Captain Marvel.
And Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Dude, everybody except us was in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, well, we were busy. We were recording a podcast about Icebreaker.
We sure were.
And in the long run, that was foolish.
So, Mark, here's the thing about Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Now, you live in Atlanta, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you see Atlanta on the screen all the time.
Yep.
Now, there's lots of movies filmed in Toronto, but it's always dressed up as something. It's like...
Yeah, we had that early on, but now we're actually Atlanta.
Right. Scott Pilgrim was Toronto as Toronto, and it was trying to be as Toronto as it could be. And so when you're watching it, you're like, oh, I've been to that pizza place. I've shopped at that record store. I've been to that Goodwill. I bought a guitar at that guitar store. Like that's what it is.
I got to tell you something. Edgar Wright, the director of Scott Pilgrim, also did Baby Driver here in Atlanta. And they showcased Second Cup in Toronto. They showcased Octane Coffee here in Atlanta. So he's really good at capturing local vibes, isn't he?
100%. 100% he is.
You know, when you and I first met back in 2011.
Right.
My main thing of going out there was going to Second Cup and getting coffee and a mug from Second Cup because I was from Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's great. So, do you remember when the con ran out of coffee?
Yes. That was, oh gosh. Now, did you hear okay, we're going to get to Dog Soldiers, but have you heard this story about I don't care. People will love it, or they won't. But did you hear, I had to get a coffee for the lady from Dexter and Boondock Saints 2? Julie Bend.
Yes.
So there should have been coffee. So she just asked for coffee. She was in the green room. There was none. Right. So that's totally fair. So I'm not saying.
There was none in the convention hall.
She was not being, she was being not a diva. Right. There should have been coffee. There wasn't. And then someone said they could get her coffee, but then they couldn't. So then she looks at me and I had to run the entire convention. You remember that?
I do.
And she's like, hey, can you get me coffee? And I didn't know about the coffee situation. I just went, yeah, I got it. So I had to sneak into,
which is the right answer.
Yeah, I was like, I got you. I'll take care of it. What I always say, I'll take care of it. But then I had to go sneak in. So I talked my way into the Canada Blooms.
Yeah, the flower convention where my sister was.
Beautiful setup in there. I walked in there and I'm like, I want to run this show.
Yeah.
But I walked in there, got a coffee, came back, brought it back to her. But it was like a 30-minute process, and I should have been running an entire convention floor. At
that same time. I was in with the Battlestar Galactica folks.
It was a coffee crisis.
It was a coffee crisis. So it was Luciana Caro was who I was hanging out with that day. And she was like, hey, can you go get me a coffee? And I said, yeah, I got it. I pulled a mark. I was like, I got it. And she goes, but the coffee cups here are small. And she had been to McDonald's in the morning and got an extra large cup. And she goes, can you get them to fill this cup? And she gave me her McDonald's cup. And I was like, I got it. So I went to the coffee area. I was like, hey, can I get a coffee? And I gave them my cup. And they took the cup and they said, sorry, we're out of coffee. And then threw it in the garbage.
Oh.
So I went back and I was like, they're actually out of coffee. But when it comes, I'll make sure I'll talk to us. I'll get you all to it. And she goes, well, where's the McDonald's cup? I'm like, oh, they threw it out. And she was she was so mad that they threw out the big container.
Those were tiny coffee cups.
Tiny coffee cups.
I'm not going to say the name, but there's an actor in Columbus who would take the coffee maker from his hotel room because he was so used to conventions being out of coffee.
Really?
Yep.
See, the whole thing seemed weird to me too because I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never had a cup of coffee in my life.
I love it.
So I'm just like, yeah, there's out of coffee. I guess you want a Coke? What else? And they're like, it was a crisis. It was a big deal. Iron Sheik was freaking out.
Oh, the Power Rangers the Power Rangers just wanted a lot of water. All right, but how about this scene? I love the scene in Dog Soldiers when he's like, fill up all the pots with hot water and then put the kettle on. We need a brew. That was a nice touch, right?
Yep.
This movie was full of nice touches.
A lot of human moments.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get that in these genre budget horror movies. You get what are the lines, what are the monsters, let's go. But you don't get what would real people do.
They put on a kettle. And you know what I also like? I like when Cooper, after Spoon gets done counting the bullets, he's just sitting there and Cooper goes, go check the left. So you keep them mentally busy. You keep them sharp.
Yeah, Cooper was always giving people roles. Go boil water.
Yeah, I mean, so this movie, Neil Marshall did a ton of research on basically they're obviously playing soldiers.
Right.
But these are some of the more believable soldiers I've seen on screen. Also, it's the greatest slide into a door close ever.
Yep, I 100% agree with you. So I would say the only thing that I would say was a little bit B-movie, a little bit, was like the arm coming through the window or the arm coming around the door gags.
Yeah.
But the werewolf suits looked so good, I bought it.
Good-looking arms.
Good-looking arms.
And I liked that werewolf got stabbed right through the arm, then they were smushing it.
Yeah.
Like there's some primal. I think that's what Neil Marshall's really good at. Now, I don't want to bring up the latest Hellboy because it put my soul in a headlock and punched it right in the face. But
so, Mark, can I stop you for a second there?
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I was thinking that should be our next remake or mistake, like we did with Judge Dredd, as we compare Hellboy and Hellboy.
Oh goodness. Okay, let's do it.
All right.
I love that. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, the scent, right? Once it gets going, it's so urgent. It's just nonstop. Doomsday with Rona Mitra. Hey, that's another tie-in. Jeez Louise. So once she gets going, she's being chased nonstop. Nonstop movie. Centurion. It's Michael Fassbender running for 90 minutes.
And gloriously.
And I actually love Neil Marshall's television work. He did Hannibal, Black Sails, Lost in Space, Game of Thrones, and Westworld. So those are all shows I watch.
So are they doing a second season of Lost in Space?
Yes.
Because it was my favorite Netflix show ever.
It's just so expensive. So I think they had to.
So good though.
The problem with that, they go on different sets, and I think they had to build. They kind of had to tear down a bunch of stuff. The problem with that show, they had to strand him on the planet. But if you really like Doctor Who, right? I don't have to explain this to you, but the sets are kind of cheap sometimes because they have to build brand new ones each time. So I think there was just a massive build for this, and then they wanted to get the scripts tight. Parker Posey, dude.
Parker Posey is my all-time favorite actress.
You know what? I would say so too. Her performance in Blade 2 is brave. Or Blade 3, Blade Trinity.
Her performance in everything is brave.
She's the best.
When I watched Superman Returns, I was like, this movie's so boring. Good. Except Parker Posey's in this, and she's killing it.
Crushing it. She's on another level.
But can you imagine if they would have made her Lois Lane instead of Kate Bosworth?
Whoa. The Peapods as the Lois?
We'd still have Brendan Routh as Superman. I guarantee you. If she was Lois, we'd still have that franchise going.
She would bring out the best in him.
Yeah. Well, she does, and she's the villain. She brings the best in him.
And then James Marsden. He's funny. If they allowed those two to be together, but funny.
Right.
Like Enchanted.
You know what? Enchanted's kind of gold. It's kind of gold.
Not kind of gold. It is gold. You could print money with that movie.
And then Enchanted, she's the new Lois Lane.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Full circle, my friend.
All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll try to talk more Dog Soldiers. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I'm sorry. So as soon as I said that, I'm looking at my 7 pages of notes that I've used about a third of. And it made me think of a line where they're talking about it's tighter than an Eskimo's nutsack.
Yes. Because it's cold, Mark.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get that. I'm not like Eskimos. Like if they go to Florida, it's not like. But that's a weird way to introduce the second half of the show. But I saw the line in the corner of my eye and I had to laugh. And another thing I love about this movie, right? Cinematographer Sam McCurdy, production designer Simon Bowles, Neil Marshall. These guys work together a lot. I mean, these guys were on Lost in Space together. They did Descent together. They did Centurion. They did Doomsday. The cinematographer's been shooting Lost in Space. He also shot Into the Badlands. I love that show.
Into the Badlands is dynamite.
Dude, Daniel Wu, so good. But I kind of love that this is a crew. These guys stuck together, and I dig that about that. And I think that's, I don't know, I'm kind of glad that they've been together for almost 17 years now. It's crushing.
Well, you get that shorthand, and then you can start shooting stuff faster. Like I think, right? Because they just what's going to be expected.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. They just know what's up. Let's do it. It's crushing.
Exactly.
Now, did you own the Scream Factory version of this?
I actually have the DVD right beside me. I have the Kinmint release of it. So I have my special features there's a featurette.
I have that.
The featurette, the producer's commentary, trailers, and then subtitles in Spanish. Those are the special features.
Oh, I don't have that. I have Dog Soldiers, and it's just the eye and the Dog Soldiers, and Jaws, Alien, and Predator with a werewolf twist, and then the special features, 5.1 digital surround, English SDH, and Spanish subtitles and previews.
Oh no, so mine's the widescreen or full screen, both of them. It's got a featurette and it's got producer's commentary.
Oh, so you have the Cadillac of the versions.
So mine doesn't say anything about predators or jaws or aliens.